I thought I had everything I could ever want. My life with Mark was exactly how I always dreamed it would be. We'd been married for 7 years, and though we weren't perfect, I thought we were pretty damn close. We shared everything, our hopes, our fears, even the smallest details of our daily lives. And then there was Sophia, my best friend since childhood. She was like a sister to me. The three of us, Mark, Sophia, and I, spent so many weekends together, laughing, talking about the future, and dreaming about what our lives would be like. But lately, things felt off. It was subtle at first. Mark had been coming home later and later from work, his attention always elsewhere. I brushed it off at first, thinking it was just stress, but the distance between us kept growing. And Sophia, well, she'd been acting a bit strange too. I couldn't put my finger on it, but something was wrong. One evening, I decided to surprise Mark. I'd come home early from work, hoping to cook him a special dinner. I thought it might help us reconnect, you know. But as I walked through the door, I heard laughter, his laugh, and someone else's. I froze, my heart thudding in my chest. I thought maybe it was just a phone call, but the sound of voices, low, intimate, drew me toward the bedroom. I don't know why I looked, but I did, and what I saw will haunt me forever. There, on our bed, was Mark, and there, beside him, was Sophia. They weren't just talking, weren't just laughing. No, they were together. The betrayal hit me like a cold wave, sweeping over me and freezing me in place. Mark and Sophia, my husband and my best friend, were in each other's arms. And it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't an accident. It was real. And it was all happening behind my back. I didn't know what to do. I just stood there, staring, my breath coming in short gasps, the floor beneath me feeling like it might give way. They didn't even hear me at first. But when they did, when they saw the look on my face, everything shattered. Mark jumped off the bed, trying to cover himself, his voice trembling with apologies. But it didn't matter. Nothing mattered anymore. I turned away, stumbling down the hallway, my body shaking as the reality of what I'd just seen sank in. I couldn't even look at them. Not yet. I just needed to get out of there. The next day felt like a fog. I couldn't think. I couldn't breathe. Every part of me screamed with pain, with disbelief. I was a shell of myself. I went through the motions of daily life, drinking coffee, getting dressed, going to work, but none of it felt real. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Mark and Sophia, tangled together, their laughter echoing in my mind like some cruel joke. It wasn't just the affair, it was everything. It was the lies, the trust, the promises we'd made to each other. How could I have missed it? How could I not have seen it coming? Was I that blind? I tried to avoid Mark, but he wouldn't stop. He sent me messages, he called, he begged for me to talk to him. And then, when I couldn't take it anymore, I agreed to meet him. Sophia was supposed to be there too. She wanted to apologize. We met at a cafe. The weight of what was about to happen pressed down on me like a 1,000-pound stone. I walked in, feeling every eye in the room on me, but I didn't care. The betrayal felt too deep to care. Mark was already there, pacing nervously. When he saw me, his face softened, and he immediately rushed to me, almost as if I would collapse. "Emma," he started, but I cut him off. "Don't," I said. "Just don't. I don't want to hear it." His face fell, and I could see the regret there. But there was no excuse. No excuse for what he did. For what both of them did. Sophia walked in a moment later, looking just as broken as Mark, but there was something colder in her eyes. I couldn't even look at her. She'd been the one person I trusted the most, the one person I thought would always have my back. Emma, I'm so sorry, Sophia started, her voice trembling. It just happened. It wasn't supposed to. How long? I cut her off, my voice barely above a whisper. How long has this been going on? 6 months, she said, choking on the words. I never meant for it to happen, I swear. I felt a lump in my throat, rage bubbling inside of me. 6 months? I could barely hold back the tears. 6 months, Sophia. How could you? And Mark, God, he just sat there looking at me with those pleading eyes, as if that would somehow make it okay. I never meant to hurt you, Emma, he said, but it was too late. He could say the words all he wanted, but they didn't mean anything now. I made a mistake. I was lonely. I needed someone. Someone? I shot back. And you chose her? My best friend. Are you even hearing yourself right now, Mark? Sophia's eyes filled with tears. I'm so sorry, Emma. I don't know what else to say. But I didn't care. All I could think about was the life I'd built, the life that was nothing more than a lie now. I want you both to leave, I said, standing up. I can't do this. I can't forgive this. Mark reached out for me, but I stepped back. I couldn't touch him. Not anymore. The next few weeks were a blur. I couldn't concentrate at work. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. The grief was suffocating, and I felt like I was drowning. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Mark and Sophia. Their betrayal had ripped apart everything I thought I knew about love, friendship, and trust. I began shutting people out, even my family. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to hear their advice or their sympathy. I didn't want to hear anything at all. I just wanted to be alone, to let the pain settle in, to figure out who I was now, after everything that had happened. But eventually, I realized that I couldn't keep running. I had to face the truth and let go. Mark tried to contact me, but I ignored him. His apologies meant nothing to me anymore. He'd broken something in me that couldn't be repaired. As for Sophia, she reached out a few times, but I couldn't forgive her. Not after everything she'd done. She had stolen my trust and shattered it into pieces. It wasn't easy, but little by little I started to heal. I took time for myself, went on trips, picked up old hobbies, and reconnected with people who hadn't been part of my life for a long time. And slowly I began to remember who I was before Mark and Sophia came into my world. I was strong. I was capable. I was me. One afternoon I sat down with my journal. It had been a while since I'd written, but I needed to express everything that had been swirling inside me. I wrote about the pain, the anger, and the loss. But by the end of the entry, something had shifted inside me. The pain was still there, but it no longer controlled me. I had taken back my power. In the final moments of the video, the camera shows me walking through a park, alone but not lonely, smiling as I look up at the sky. I'm not whole yet, but I'm getting there. I'm learning that it's okay to let go of the past and that I am worthy of love, my own love. The journey isn't over, but it's mine to navigate. And that's enough.